Hi, my name is Shada.
My name's Marexa.
My name is Lauren.
My name is Kaylee.
And my name is Jason.
What y'all think about poverty?
And we're talking about poverty.
Oh, I hate being poor.
Oh my god.
I'm not
Do
poor,
you guys know what that is?
Yeah, you're extremely poor, right?
essentially.
Well, not technically, no. Not really. Well, I
You
don't
need
see it
work.
that, like,
You
I
need
mean,
work.
What do you see it as, Marexa?
well, like, what the hell? Casey said that you make how much money for 5 poor people?
It's about 2,600. So like 25. Oh no, I lied. It's 26,000. So like if you live in a family of 4, $25,500 your family's supposed to make in a year.
For what?
12. It's a 12.8% rate. Like if you live in a household of 4 in California, like in each state, it's different.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah,
like you're considered. If you're
because
let, I
other
think it's-
places and states, they pay more money for certain jobs, and places over there are cheaper, so people don't go in debt
Well,
so
not
much
just
because
in
places
other
are cheaper.
states.
Just other countries, yeah, just in general.
That's
Anywhere but
crazy.
California.
Wait, never mind.
Nah.
Do you guys think you guys are in poverty?
What would you say?
Do you think you're in poverty or whatever it is?
I don't think I am.
Of course she doesn't.
I think like I don't know. I guess like so for the fact that we stated about the like 26,000, like that I guess you're considered like if you're in a family of 4 and you don't make that much a year, you're considered kind of on the poverty level. But I would just think of poverty as like it's like you're lacking like basic needs like a shelter, food.
Right?
Yeah.
But California has high expectations.
Especially in this state, they be charging what? Oh,
For real.
Especially
High
freaking
taxes.
Anaheim.
and prices be going up too
For real?
on little things. A bag of chips.
Okay, but like, I mean, technically you're not in poverty, like, if you use an EBT or none of that, because that basically you just have money. They just want you to have extra money just in case.
No, because the government only funds you like if they feel that you're lacking in like money.
In your income.
So so like if your family's lacking in income, like they get like the cow benefits, like food stamps and like what is it, like the cash aid thing. So like they give you cash, like if you don't make a certain amount of money, they give you cash to provide for your family. So like that's like basic like home stuff, like soaps, like stuff like that. And then
Like
they give you they give you the food portion. It's like the food stamps, and then it's
like EBT, like those cards that people go to the store and they could buy like a whole bunch of stuff because it's like a little card that they give.
They give you like 600, don't they?
It depends on
your income.
It depends on your income. No, it depends on how many like children you have. So like say you're like a mom and you have 2 kids, and they would give you like enough money for you and then your 2 kids. Whereas like if you were a mom and then you had 1 kid, then they would give you enough for you and then your 1 kid.
Yeah.
But some people have like the what is it? The cash, like where it's just cash, and they give you like cash on the card, so it's like you're not buying food, but you could buy like soap and like other stuff that you need, like with the cash on the card, and then they have the food part. So when you get like benefits from the government, is that considered like they see you as like you're in poverty, or?
I don't know. But, I mean, I guess. Wait, do you have to sign up for that? Like, for the EBT and, like, stuff like that? Or
Yeah, you have to go to the welfare office. When you put your amount down, like, you have to put, like, where you work, if you're working or if you're not working, the amount you make, if you're receiving, like, what is it called when the parents pay, like, child support. I think if you're on child support, you don't get the cash part. You only get the food part, I think.
But some people don't, like, some people are like up to child support, but the parents don't even pay them child support. So
Yeah.
Wait, so like, what about like health benefits and stuff? What if somebody gets sick or anything and they can't provide it? Are they gonna pay for that or?
So if I think people when they're in product, like if they're like they don't have that much income, through like government funding, you could get like free healthcare, like Medi-Cal and stuff, and then
Usually do.
like basically all like your medicines and like your medical bills are
All
paid.
your needs type of. That's. I mean.
Because I know Medi-Cal, like for certain things, they cover like a lot. Like, because I
They
have Medi-Cal, and they covered me like when I needed glasses. Like they paid completely for my glasses.
It depends how blind you are too. Because if you're like really blind, they'll pay for it. But if it's like really low, you gotta pay for it.
Really?
That's what they did
Pay
to
for
me.
it.
Because no, my freshman year, I wasn't as blind as I am now. And they said because I'm not that blind that they weren't gonna pay for it. But then like sophomore year, they started paying for it because I got like worse. But they cover a certain amount as you go blind.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought like they just covered it.
Why do you guys think poverty still exists?
Yeah.
Because it's so
People are
damn freaking
stingy.
expensive.
Because people are stingy. Like I really believe that.
Yeah, or stingy.
Like stores and all that. Like the more like I don't know how to explain it. Like everything like just keeps like as we go on.
It
Like
gets the prices
like
get
prices are raising, and then there's some people who are getting like pay cuts at their jobs. Some people losing, obviously due to the pandemic. Like a lot of people lost their jobs, and a lot of people got pay cuts. So like that's why a lot of people were like on the unemployment thing because they give you money.
Oh,
There's
that's
So like
with EDD, they give them like 20,000 because of they lost their jobs and stuff like that.
some
yeah,
people
and then
stay on the waiting list for that thing.
EDD, yeah, it sucked because a lot of people were lying on that and saying that they lost their jobs and stuff like that, and they were getting money and people were getting caught, so they kind of like had
And
people
so,
like wait.
Yeah, so like when they do have it, like when you could go like cash in for your EDD card, there's security there now checking your IDs to make sure that your card is actually you, because so many people are lying and getting money off of other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think poverty is a choice?
Well,
I think it honestly depends on your situation.
Yeah, it could be some people that are really out there trying to like, get their lives together, and some people who rather spend it on like drugs or other stuff that are in poverty. It's their decision.
Do you think people on welfare are just lazy?
No. I mean, some people are on it, because like, oh, it's easy money, like I'm struggling, I can go get help. But there's some people who are like, it's hard because they're trying to provide for their kids and their family and everything in their house, and they're still trying to work at the same time and then maintain all the other stuff that goes on in their life. So I wouldn't really consider that like a laziness, because some people are trying. But it honestly, like I said for the other question too, it just depends on your situation.
Yeah, like overall, I think it has more to do with the system than the person, if that makes sense.
I think the same thing. But some people, I would say though that some people, I guess they're kind of choosing poverty, because there's some people where they had money, like, and they were living like a normal life. And then they decided like, oh, I'm going to do drugs or I'm going to drink alcohol, and that's an everyday decision that they make. Like, am I going to work to better myself, or am I going to put this in my body when I know I don't need it? And then the more that they choose to put that in their body, and they just lose all control in themselves and focus in themselves, that they start to fall down that path, and then they end up in the situation that they're in.
I think you're correct, but I also think it's like the lack of resources around people too. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think poverty can be solved?
Obviously, it can if you try, but in this pandemic, I don't.
Well, how do you think it could be solved?
by trying, by like starting off with like a small job or something, and then just going up from there, or like
Well,
doing.
because for some people it's not easy, you know, like some people
I
have
think
like
I think they should make, you know what? I was talking about this with my parents, or I don't know who it was. They should like make like a big ass house. There's people that are rich, like Jeffree Star and like those type of people, you know, that are rich that can make like apartments for people that are homeless to give them a second chance. But some people say, oh, they donate, but they donate like that one time, say they donated for like the rest of their life or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
so they actually have like like motels and like apartments and like housing programs for people who are struggling.
Not
But
many.
you have to you they have it though, and people are like on waiting lists for it, but you have to stay like on top of that and you have to be consistent with it. And the people that aren't really trying to stay on top of it and be consistent are the people that are like struggling, you know, because they're not reaching out. Like you have to like, for people to really know that you want something, it's like, it's sad to say, but I feel like for a lot of things you really like kind of have to beg. Like it's like, hey, like I know I called you, but I'm gonna call you again. Like, is it okay? Like, am I gonna get this? And then they don't answer you. You just have
You
to
just have
keep
to show
calling
your
and keep
interest.
trying.
You gotta
Like
show
you
your
have to show that you really want something. We're talking about people like who are like on house, like who need housings and stuff. Because she said that like famous people could do that.
but they don't. Some people don't, like Kanye did in LA.
So talking about famous people, why don't unemployed or underemployed simply find better jobs?
Because it's
Because it's
hard.
not that easy to get into a job.
It's really not. Oh yeah, like
every-
for an example, would be, let's say a homeless person, if they apply for a job, they need to put an address so that way they could, like receive their check. But someone who is homeless doesn't have an address, so that could be like another factor as to why it's very hard to, like get a job.
And that's why a lot of people that are struggling, that are homeless and stuff, they end up doing jobs and they get paid under the table, and then that's how they get into trouble. And then when you get in trouble, it's kind of like, dude, my life is over. What's the point? Like, no matter how hard I try. And then they lose motivation and then they get themselves back in that position.
And then they just stop trying.
So it's kind of like poverty is a choice, but it's not a choice. Like,
How do you think
like,
people like fall into poverty?
It depends. It just depends.
I would think a big reason people fall into poverty,
drugs,
alcohol, stuff like that.
Addiction,
lack of resources, mental health, or
laziness.
There is that too. Are people that just think that everything needs to be handed to them. Like I was watching like this video, and there's like kids who get spoiled their whole life, and like their parents do everything for them. Like they don't ever have to do things for themselves. So when they grow up, it's like they expect everything to be handed to them, and they don't know how to work for money. Like, they don't know how to work to provide for themselves, and then they fall into poverty that way too.
Yeah, because they're not used to working hard and putting effort into other stuff. They're used to just, getting it handed to them.
Do you think there's more like poverty in the U.S. or in other countries?
I think in
other countries. I think in other countries. I would say other countries, because when you think about it, a lot of people that want to leave their country, their first choice is, let's go to America. Because, they think like America has like all this great stuff, like more opportunities to receive money, like more rights for themselves. So like their country is lacking in things, so they decide to come here,
I know. Huh?
My bad.
Now I was gonna say how also too, I feel like there are more resources here in America to help people who are in poverty rather than other countries who don't have organizations to help people in need.
Are people who live on the streets necessarily lazy?
No.
There's actually people that try, but they just don't have an opportunity.
Okay, well, there was this time, that's a question too, where it depends on the situation. because there's people where like, oh, like $5, like I could wash your windows, you know, or there was this one guy who would walk around Anaheim all the time and he would literally clean up the community and he never wanted money, like, and he was homeless, but like my family would always stop and like give him drinks and stuff. And so like for that, I say it would like depend on the situation too, because there's some people, like there's this guy and he asked for money and my brother was like, well, I don't have like cash to give you, but I can buy you something to eat. And the guy was like, eh. Like if you ask for money for food and somebody's offering to take you and buy you food, then we know that your decision wasn't to get food when you asked for money.
Hold up, last question and we done. Can military people like go into poverty, right? They can, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's actually a lot of homeless veterans. And due to like stuff in the military, like when they go to war, like, or when they go to other countries, you know, yeah, like she said, PTSD, or they blow off their hand, they blow off their leg, or they have to get their leg amputated. And it's like they lose like hope, you know. And like sometimes the military, like they don't really like fund you that the way that people think it is.
Yeah.
It's like growing up, a lot of kids thought like, oh, you join the military, you're gonna be rich, you know, like you see them as like higher class people, but they don't really make as much money as everyone thinks they do.
Okay, thank you guys.
And that's poverty, y'all. That's it. Now I could go.